Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now. Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.
Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. We are brought to you by Undisputed. The new takeover pack is available to download right now. Just go to playundisputed.com. All right, let's do this. You know, I've done quite a lot of videos about Canelo Crawford in the last few weeks. And one thing I've been consistent on is that it doesn't quite feel as big as it should. Like, there's been a lot of talk about this being the fight of the century. And I'm like, doesn't feel like the fight of the century. It does now. It does now. I don't know if it's because all of the circus has now got to Vegas. I've been watching so many videos, the press conference, the face-to-face, and now it feels enormous. It does. It feels like something really, really special is going to happen in the early hours of Sunday morning. Both fighters look on it. Like Canelo was wearing that vest, that black vest. He's in great shape. Honestly, he's in great shape. Crawford hasn't yet sort of taken off the hoodies, but you know he's in great shape as well. The face-off was intense. God, this is, oh my God, this is going to be special, people. This is one of those, when I was growing up and I fell in love with boxing, it was because I used to see these type of big fights, and then they used to the camera used to pan sort of ringside, and you'd see all the celebrities, right? You see Bruce Willis, you see Jack Nicholson, you see sort of Sylvester Stallone. This has that kind of feel about it. Like, this just feels enormous. And it's well, it's not a shame. I was going to say it's a shame that it's not on pay-per-view, because I'd love to know the number it could do. On Netflix, it's kind of difficult. Like, what's a good number? What represents a good number? Is it going to do Jake Paul, Mike Tyson? No. Will it do more than Amanda Serrano, Katy Taylor? Yes. So I don't know what's a good number. Would it have done over 1 million pay-per-view buys? Yes. Most certainly. Would it have touched 2 million? Don't know. I don't know. But who cares about all that? The money doesn't go to us, does it? We just want to see a good fight. And I have a feeling that we will see a good fight. I've also been very consistent by saying I think Crawford wins. I've been consistent with that. And don't get me wrong. When I say that, I mean, in my head, it's a 55-45 split. That's how close it is. But I've been consistent. I don't know now, you know. Honestly, I don't know now. Someone put up a clip. It was like a 45-second clip of Madrimov's success against Crawford. I was ringside for that fight, and I didn't remember any of those shots landing. I was like, geez, did that really happen? And obviously, Madrimov throws completely different to how Canelo throws. That Madrimov is all over the place. It's kind of weird. It's quite difficult to read. Canelo's not as difficult, but Canelo's just so much more experienced. And yes, they're going to look physically the same, but he's the natural 168-pounder. He's the one that's taken shots from guys that probably on a fight night weigh in nearly 200 pounds, and he's been able to eat those shots, eat them, right? I mean, we haven't seen Canelo wobbled since Miguel Cotto's brother wobbled him way back when, right? I mean, apart from that, this guy's taken shots off Gennady Golovkin. And anyone that can eat shots off Golovkin, I'm sorry, you've got my full respect, because we know how hard Golovkin hits. What will Crawford's legs look like after a few rounds against Canelo? Like, Crawford's going to have to be active. One thing Crawford's got to understand as well, it's in Vegas. It's in Vegas. If you want to beat Canelo, you got to beat Canelo. A bit like Bivol did. You've got to make sure there is no arguments. It's all said and done. I did way more work. So Crawford's got to be busy. Canelo, we just know, isn't going to revert back to Canelo of 6-7 years ago. It ain't going to happen. So what Canelo does do is he tries to hurt you with one big shot now. He won't load up. It will tap you, then bang. I think we've seen that, especially that shot he throws where it looks like he's going to go to the body, then it goes up top. He's really good at that shot. So Crawford's got to look out for that. I think Crawford wins quite a few of the early rounds. And then I think the weight of Canelo's punches, the weight in Crawford's legs start to take some impact. And I think Canelo starts to eat a lot of the second half of the fight rounds. And then I think it comes down to who can do something in 11 and 12 championship rounds. I really do believe that's how it's going to play out. I've got a feeling that Canelo will hurt Crawford. I think Canelo is going to try and put on... you can't rewind the clock. It's just not possible. I think we are going to see... Basically, what I'm trying to say is forget Canelo's skull. Get rid of that over your head. Get rid of Belanga. Get rid of John Ryder. Get rid of Munguia. We're going to see a much better Canelo. Much better. Canelo's walked into those fights, and no disrespect to those fighters, but he's walked in with zero fear. Like zero, like, oh, whatever. And maybe he's not been the best at fight camp. Maybe he's not brought in the best sparring. We've seen the sparring he's brought in. This is Canelo that's walking into this fight with some sort of fear, and I think that will bring the best out of Canelo. I think it will bring the best out of him. That said, I think he's fighting a genius in Crawford. I really do. I expect Crawford to stay in that southpaw stance as much as possible. He will switch to orthodox when he realizes that he can have some success there, but I expect him to be a southpaw for pretty much all of the fight. Oh God, this is such a tough fight to call. So hard. I've said Crawford all the time, and I think I'm going to stick with Crawford, but with zero confidence. Zero. This is one of the closest 50-50 fights I can ever remember. Like, we know when Fury Usyk, was thinking, was Fury Usyk? But I was always confident Usyk was going to get it done. I was like, Usyk's going to get this done. I think Fury was going to cause Beterbiev Bivol, maybe. Beterbiev Bivol 1 and 2. But this is going to be a fabulous fight, people. I mean, you got 2 pound for pounders. Like, I know there are, people trying to take the throne from Canelo, right? Christian Mbele's there now. Hamza Shiraz is there. He's still the number one at 168 pounds. The number one. Has he dropped off a bit? Yes, but he's still the number one. Whereas Crawford didn't even cement himself as the number one at 154. And there were some people saying he's the number one at 147 because of Boots chasing him. Of course he was, but that's what some people said. Man, I've just literally switched back to Canelo when my head was like, Canelo. That's how tough it is to call. I'm going Crawford. I'm going Crawford to win it 7-5. Or a very, very, very controversial draw, or controversial Canelo 7-5. Either way, I don't care. I'm just watching it as a fan. I'm a fan of both. I'm more a fan of boxing. And boxing wins right now. So look, enjoy it. Those of you that are out there doing great stuff, I've watched quite a few interviews. Wade's out there doing stuff. Adam Cattrall's done some fantastic stuff. My boys Ak and Barak are doing things for all the smoke boxing. Everyone is out there apart from me. But it's okay, because I'm going to Belfast. Windsor Park. Lewis Crocker versus Paddy Donovan, IBF welterweight title in a stadium. It's going to be a cracking atmosphere. No one makes a racket like the Irish make a racket. No one. So I think the atmosphere there is going to be incredible. And then I will stay up. And I was going to do a live, but I'm just about... It's going to be very close for me to make my flight. My flight back to the UK, to London, is something like 6 a.m. or something, because I asked for an early flight back because I'm actually traveling to South Africa. So I'm just about going to be able to watch this. So hopefully, I know ring walks are like 4 a.m., 4:20. Hopefully it is that, and it's not some sort of 5 o'clock thing, because I will miss the fight. Crazy. All right, talking about Irish boxing, Katy Taylor says a fight at Croke Park would top off her career. She's had so many moments to end. So many. Amanda Serrano 1. Perfect way to end. Perfect way. Amanda Serrano 2. Perfect way to end. Chantel Cameron rematch. Perfect way to end. I get the Croke Park thing, but Croke Park, what's the capacity? 1 second, people. Croke Park capacity. 82,000. Look, I don't know. Her popularity in Ireland is crazy, where she might be able to fill it. I'm not sure. But a final dance with Chantel Cameron's risky, man. So risky, but this is Katy. Every time I think Katy's done, she somehow pulls a victory from the jaws of defeat. So who knows? Inoue against Akhmadaliev is going to be streamed on Top Rank's Facebook page. You should have just given the rights to me. You should have just given... Inoue, pound for pound, number 2 or 3, one of the biggest stars in boxing, is on Facebook like he's a fucking prelim fighter. Strange. Is what it is. Obviously, we know the situation Top Rank are in right now. There's no ESPN deal, but I'm still shocked that... Remember, Top Rank had a deal or did look like it had a deal with Sky. Remember that, in fact, they did have a deal with Sky Sports. I'm shocked that Sky Sports haven't said, you know, we'll take it. We'll take it and put it on one of our channels. Doesn't have to be the main channel because it might clash with some football, but put it on a channel. I'm surprised by that. And not even, like, wouldn't it have made more sense just to put it on Top Rank's YouTube page? Didn't that make a bit more sense? Like, Facebook page just seems so dated. We'll end on this very quickly. Max Kellerman. You know, when I think Turkey announced that Max was coming back, I think everyone in unison was like, yes. Because, again, we've all grown up to Max. When Max went over to ESPN, we didn't really get much boxing. He actually had Max on boxing on ESPN. It just kind of disappeared. Max's glazing of Dana White just has to stop. And I'm so happy that Canelo shut him down. Like, Max was like, yeah, Dana White's going to come and save box. I'm like, Max, what are you doing? That you don't need to do this, Max, that we do. Like, us early journos in this, when we're still trying to fight for our space and, you know, almost want to try and hold on to our jobs. I get why we do it sometimes, you know. Max doesn't have to do this. Max has got more money in the bank than it makes sense. Like, why are you glazing Dana like this, Max? I find, like, there needs to be, like, even pre-Riyadh season, there's this thing now where people think, like, fights weren't being made, good fights weren't put on. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Stadium fights. Like, this thing that Dana White's going to somehow come and save boxing just needs to stop. Boxing doesn't need saving like that. If anything, Dana White needs to focus on the UFC, which looks like it needs a lot of saving. I think, and I've always said this, I think Dana's one of the best promoters in the world, but we don't need to glaze him. We don't need to come and say, oh, this guy's going to come and save boxing. And I'm so happy when Canelo jumped on the mic and like, stop it. Like, boxing is big. Boxing's always been big and will always be big. Stop this, Max. You're better than this. And he is better than that. Again, Max isn't like us people that are just stepping into the game and trying to find our way and not trying to piss people off. Max doesn't need to do that. Max is one of those people I expect to say what he wants to say. Obviously not. All right. Is there anything else before we wrap? Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, guys, girls. Peace and love.
Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now.
Ade Gman, brought to you by Undisputed.